Hello, hello, hello. You're welcome once again. This is your favorite family show.
Yes.
Conference on EWTV. Remember, we are the
Yes.
Thank you so much for
Thank
joining us,
you.
and really thank you for always joining us. We really appreciate that. Thank you for joining us today again on the show. And we are now having the third phase of our series on ways of watering your seed for a flourishing marriage. This is the third phase. In phase one, we talked about the power and the efficacy of praying together as a couple. And in the second phase, we talked about speaking words of affirmation about your spouse, saying positive things about your spouse, even when you are not seeing them. Because what you say about your spouse, you say about yourself. And then, and this third phase of watering your seed. How do you water your seed? What is one thing you can do to water your seed? We're talking about setting boundaries. Setting boundaries when it comes to parents, and when it comes to siblings, and when it comes to in-laws. Yes, I know that a lot of struggles in the home is about in-laws. Yes. Even before people get married. I know a lot of young people are listening to us. Even before you get married, one of the fearful things you will hear is in-law, especially mother-in-law. Yes, that's one of the things that you will hear. But no fears, no worries. When you know how to water your seed, you have a peaceful flow with them. Okay, so that's what we're going to be talking about today. It sounds exciting. Yeah? Yes, it is exciting. Don't go anywhere. Listen to us.
Thank you very much. That is quite an interesting topic. And it's quite dicey also because a lot of people in the marriage, one of the issues we have seen is people not being able to draw boundaries with in-laws, or with friends also. And we see that the major cause of that is couples not being able to explain their oneness even to their in-laws and friends. So it's not enough for you to be one at home. Do your family, do your friends understand your oneness? Do they understand that you are one? Have you been able to explain that both in your thoughts, in your talk, in your deeds, that you are actually one? You know, because most times that they want to intrude is because they've not seen any reason not to. We'll just share some practical examples of things that we've seen or that we know that happen in many homes, you know, especially when there are issues in the families where they say, I want you to know this, but don't tell your husband. I want you to know this, but don't tell your wife. There's a secret meeting we are having as a family. We don't want your spouse to be involved, you know, which is not correct because the two have become one. So there should not be anything that you should be hiding from your spouse. There should not be anything that your family should be hiding from your spouse when they truly understand you are one. So if you have not been able to set this from the beginning, so many people will ride on that. So, but when you know that we are one, anything you want to discuss with me and my wife, we know. There shouldn't be meetings where they say, this one is for you, make sure you sneak and come, let your wife not come. You know, because meetings like that, they begin to discuss things or say things that you know will be detrimental to your marriage if care is not taken. Some of them might be seemingly good, but unconsciously, like you're talking about affirming your wife even when she's not there. You know, so set that boundary. Let people know that this is my wife, this is my husband. You can't, there's nothing that I know that I can't tell her. There's nothing that I do that I can't tell her. So people will not be beginning to do business with you. This one, don't tell your husband, don't tell your wife, this is just you. If you tell him now, if you tell, don't listen to that. What boundaries are you setting that will not allow people to begin to, you know, put you as a different entity from your spouse? Begin to gobble you into things that we feel doesn't concern your spouse. When you begin to allow that, you are moving on a slippery ground, and it has a tendency to affect your home.
Yes, honestly, this is a very dicey one, like you have said. Okay, but the truth still remains the truth. Like you said, a lot of couple, between yourselves, you know that you are one. In fact, you say that to yourself regularly. You can't do, we are one now. But where we have not gotten it right could be that your family does not yet understand that you are one. You know, we always like to go back to the Bible. The Bible says that God made them male and female, right? And it says for this reason, what's the reason? Marriage. A man leaves his father and mother and cleaves to his wife. And what happened? The two of them become one. Now, this is not to say that you throw your family away.
Definitely.
And I also want to talk to the wives especially. You don't expect your husband that has grown with his family for maybe 35 years or so when he meets you to throw 35 years for just courtship of 1 year and marriage of 2 years, 3 years. It's not possible. In fact, if you begin to sit on your husband's case to do that, that is wrong. That is very wrong. We're not saying throw your family away. We are only saying set a boundary. Let your family know that this person, I can't hide anything from this person. It was here we talked about, you can't hide your body from him. Why will you hide any other thing from him? Let your family know how critical it is. That see, my wife is me. My husband is me. Whatever you're saying to me, if they say don't tell, she will hear. He will hear. One of the things you can't hide anything from yourself. You know, we always say 2 people you can't hide something from is yourself and God.
Very true.
That is the same idea you must build your home.
Very true.
That is the same boundary you must set for your parents. It may take a little time for them to come around to understand that. It works for us in different ways. Some couple will say, okay, when I want to send money to my husband's people, when it's my husband sending the money, he gives me the money to send. That can work for you. While some, my husband can send money to his people, no problem. The top notch of it is that let them know that we are one. We want to take this discussion further. So, but we'll come back after the break.
Yeah, please join us again. And don't forget that you can reach us on all our social media handles. If you have questions concerning this topic or any other topic that we've discussed, feel free to reach us on our handles, send us a mail, and let us know your questions and comments. Please join us again. Thank you. Thank you for joining us again. Yes, we've been talking about the family, and they have to set boundaries with in-law, following our series on watering your seed in order to have a fruitful marriage. I'll be talking about setting boundaries. Yeah, very critical. And before the break, we talked a lot about why we need to, beyond talking or saying that we are one, do your family also know and see that oneness? Or when they see it, they also relate with you in that light. Most times they want to do secret things with you because you have not really come out boldly to explain your oneness or live it. And so they feel they can just do things outside of your spouse with you. And that is not healthy for the marriage. So we've been talking a lot about that. And sincerely, when we look at it, most of the things that even bring this conflict, especially with families and in-laws, are the issue of money. And sincerely, until we become transparent with each other on the issue of money, then we'll just be ready for issues in marriage. You know, because they want you to send money, they want you to do this, they don't want your wife to know, and your family, once they think your wife is, they know if she's the one blocking them. There's a lot of mindset, even things that don't bother, that don't exist. People begin to feed or think on it, understand? So we must learn to be transparent and set that boundary. When you have agreed with your wife that we are doing something with this money, it's not wisdom for you to now carry it and give a family or friend, even without seeking consent, say, honey, what should we do? You know, God sees both of you as one, especially in giving that giving, it has really caused a lot of issues. So it's an area we must learn. Somebody say he wants you to borrow him or her money, don't tell your wife, please. Don't allow such discussions that somebody wants to do something with you and say, don't tell your wife. Let people know that we are one. We are one. Please, I need to tell her. And if your wife or your husband is saying no, then it's no. It's a family. It's the two that have become one. And do your part in encouraging and in seeing that maybe she agrees or he agrees But please let there be an understanding. That helps to set boundaries that has caused a lot of issue in marriage, in trying to, especially now we don't have joint account. That is true. Most couples don't have. What works for you is the breast. If you feel that doesn't work, whatever works for you is there. But even when you're having that separate account, that's why we're saying people should police their money. But just understanding. And it's not even wrong. It's even wisdom sometimes, like she said, which you work with some people, and I've seen it really work. You want to send this money to your people. There's nothing wrong with maybe your wife being coming, Mama, we send money for you people, just for them to understand that one. So they will not keep seeing. Sometimes most people send money. And maybe I send to my mother, she will feel I'm the one that is sending. My wife is not seeing it. Some people feel I'm hiding from my wife. Thank God, if not that I sent now, this woman will not allow her to send this money. But bringing your spouse in when they send, Mama, we send this for you. God bless you. It's giving those people the impression that they are working as a team. So they are not seeing the wife or the husband as someone who is hiding, who is not wanting them to receive or also eat part of that money. So it's wisdom and understanding to carry them along. Carry your spouse even as you give. Talk to the person together. She can send on your behalf. He can send on her behalf. So that these people understand that it's a joint decision. So you're appreciating one, you're appreciating this. This one is good. Not thinking this one just gave me. If this one wouldn't have allowed you, this one is the one hiding and not allowing him to release. So there's wisdom, there are things you can do to promote that unity. And when people see, they say, wow, and they can respect both of you and your decisions.
Exactly. One of the things that we must look at intentionally on this matter is to do away with I.
I.
We must do away with I. It has to be a we now.
We.
Who sends the money? We sent it.
In a text, in a call, you're promoting that.
You are even calling to say, hey, Papa, how are you? We just thought of checking on
you.
You are actually the only one calling. Your wife or your husband wasn't even there. And you're saying we. When they listen to you saying this over and over again, somehow they just understand. Some of the things that has caused problems are, okay, my husband sends money. And when the person is calling to say thank you, thank you, I saw the money that you sent.
Good man, God bless you.
Man, God bless you. Nothing for the
woman. Yeah.
And then when she hears it, she's like, So that means you gave money without me.
You are the good one.
You are the good one and I'm the bad one. You are the one that is perfect and not perfect.
And even when she knows about the money, because the husband was not intentional about mentioning we. The person just keep appreciating the man, and not saying we must be intentional. Please
we must be intentional. Yes, we're talking about watering your seed, and the matter of watering your seed is an intentional thing.
Very true.
It doesn't happen by chance. That's the truth. This I thing, scrapping out this I thing and making it a we, it won't happen by chance. So if you're still having issues on this matter, maybe you should go back and check. Maybe you have not made them understand.
Very true.
You need to hit it, let them understand. And excuse me, I am the one to make my family understand. My husband is the one to make his family understand. It is not my responsibility to come and make his own family understand that. It is our responsibility. And trust me, as simple and as small as this thing is, if it is properly dealt with, we will have flourishing marriages. Okay, so I'm sure again today it has been another exciting time. We have learned 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5 things. Please make sure that what you have learned don't just go away. Sit down, talk with your partner about it, talk about it over and over again, and we are praying and hoping that it will become a testimony in your marriage. Thank you for staying with us again on Homefront on EWTV. We are always here for you.
Oh yes.
Ruth and Ebuka. Thank you so much. See you again next week. Bye.